As Europe prepares to head into winter, there are lingering concerns about gas supplies as the war in Ukraine drags on. Deutsche Welle correspondent Mathis Richtmann joins us now from Berlin. Mathis, will Europeans be able to keep the heat on this winter?
Well, I really certainly hope so, because it's getting slightly chilly here in Berlin. But it's looking pretty good. What we're watching are so-called gas storage levels. That's basically how much gas is in storage tanks at strategic locations across Europe. And they're right now about 80% full. That's somewhat lower than in previous years, hence some of those worries. And those worries are new because, for example, Germany was super dependent on Russian pipeline gas in the past, and those supplies came to a sudden stop with Russia's full-scale invasion into Ukraine and Europe's resulting sanctions on the Russian energy sector. Now, this year, analysts expect there are solid buffers against disruptions unless there isn't a very unusually cold and long winter coming.
Yeah, it does seem to look fine in terms of supply for this year. So why are gas supplies such a big deal in Europe?
So gas has just gotten a lot more expensive here. And with households already reeling from an increase of cost of living, they're just looking worried into the winter of having to shell out a lot more money for this. And then businesses here are very dependent on gas. Look at, heavy industry, the chemical industry. Those just rely on gas. And they've had to cut costs in the past, jobs in the past, because they couldn't get a grip on this new reality of higher prices. And then this new reality of scrutinizing energy supplies also just goes at the heart of previous German politics that in the past had sort of tried to build ties with Vladimir Putin's Russia. But now with this war in Ukraine has obviously changed. So this scrutinizing of energy prices and supplies is just a reflection of a change in Germany's foreign policy stance that people here are still trying to get a grips with.
And the EU has been realigning its supplies in the past couple of years. How has it done that?
So, first of all, Norway has really stepped up its supplies through pipeline gas north-south. But then on the other side, there is a massive build-out of LNG infrastructure, that's liquefied natural gas. And the United States has really stepped up and provided a lot of this LNG to the European Union. And with the EU sort of looking to expand this partnership with the US, some here are worried that Europe is sort of trading one energy dependence for another. But there's an important difference between pipeline gas from Russia and LNG from the United States, because with a pipeline, you sort of have just one supplier sitting on the supply side. But with LNG infrastructure, you can technically globally source your supplies, and Europe would therefore be somewhat more flexible to go into the future.
Mathis Richtmann, Deutsche Welle correspondent, thank you so much for your time. Hundreds of thousands of people have been taking to the streets in